Yeah, anybody in the audience tried anything else? Exactly. Well, about 4 months before we did, 4 months before, I was over in Tahiti, thanks to FTX, being pampered on a cruise ship, 7-star cruise ship. It was wonderful. But I noticed when I put my little swimsuit on, I had to stretch it really good to get it on. And made the decision that a month later I was coming home and we were going to be in Las Vegas at a lunch. So most women, I can tell you, events, I get 4 or 5 friends that call me and say, what are you doing? How are you going to get the weight off before we get to that? What dress are you wearing at the next event? Yeah. So that was me. I came home and made a decision. I spent $600, lost about 5 pounds. So I went back and spent another $600, lost a couple pounds. In between that process, Michelle called us, and she said, would you like to try a new diet product that we have? I'm like, yeah. This is 10 days before the event in Vegas. So I tried the product, and we get it, and I'm going to let Brad pick it up from here because he really, he was the one that was really interested in the first product that lost a lot of weight on that product.
All right. Well, one of the reasons I got so motivated after, kind of through the last few years, just kind of blossoming it up to a weight that's really undesirable. And, if you know me much, I'm a clothes hound. I like nice suits, nice shirts, nice ties. And I was thinking about going shopping a few months ago. And, I'm like, I got clothes in my closet. I got, so I said to go. I'm not going shopping until I lost 30 pounds. So I got really serious about starting to lose some weight. And again, around this time is when Michelle called and asked us if we'd like to try be the guinea pigs on the product. And so she sent us each 15 of the cookies. And so we got onto those, and I've done some of these low, high protein, low carb diets, so I just kind of fit right in with how I've been able to lose weight. And so we started that. So we got into that and started taking those once and twice a day. We'd cut them in half, cut them in quarters, because sometimes you take a half when you're full, you don't eat them for a while. And then we'd put them in a quarter because we knew that's all we had. And we started running out, and I went out, and I got, you see these signs, will work for food. I put out there, help, will work for cookies, and took a picture of it and sent it to Michelle. Trying to get
I found it in the garage.
True story. She comes out later and finds that sign in the garage and says, what is this? So, long story short, I lose 20 pounds on the cookies only before ever tasting the drink. So, that was the beginning of this. Then, roughly 15 days or so, we got the complete package that you saw introduced today. And so I was excited to try that. Ron told me about this product over a year ago. And he said, being able to go into ketosis in 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, seriously? Because I've been in a couple times in my life, been able to get into ketosis, and it takes 4 or 5 days. You take about 30 people's heads off in the process, and then you fall right back out. And so he told me, I'm like, this is incredible. So then Michelle sends this package to us, and she says, gives us all the instructions. And she said, be on the stick first thing in the morning, then drink your drink over about 20, 30 minutes, and then go, an hour later, go pee again. And I was like, that's odd. An hour? And so I'm always overzealous, those that know me, and so about 45 minutes later, I go for the second time, and it's into deep purple. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. From 0 to hero in 45 minutes. And so, anyway, so we get on the whole program, eat the cookie later, feel amazing. First, some of you have seen this on Facebook, the first 4 days, I lost 8 pounds, all documented by the scales and all that. By the end of my 6th day, I lost 10. And then...
Well, we had the scales in the bathroom, and we had this little cheat sheet. What I didn't tell him is I put my weight on the back. I don't think you ever saw it.
I did see it the other day.
So I was watching his weight and then putting my weight on the back. He was losing twice as much as me on a daily basis. I was working a business really, really hard right then, and sitting at my desk every single day using the program. So I was almost losing a pound a day, almost.
And so anyway, we'll try to finish it up real quickly here. We have an annual boat trip. We have a large boat on Lake Mead, and we go to the beach every year for the 4th of July. And we knew when she sent us this to try, we had 10-day supply, but we had about 15 days by the time we got to here. And my goal was to lose 40 pounds from the last, would be a total of about 40 days. And so, but the problem was the boat trip, with our friends, taking the boat to the beach and the horseshoes on the beach and the floating and bobbing and the swimming and the food and the drink and the food. And so anyway, through that, we just kind of cut it in half. We'd take little pieces of the drink, or maybe a quarter, because we were rationing this stuff. And she was stealing mine. She was taking my cookies and drink. So anyway, spent 6 days on the boat on the beach, came back, barely had enough to really restart again, because we just get the scaled back version. Stayed in ketosis the whole time, by the way. Been in ketosis now for, I guess, 15, 16 days. Stayed in the whole time, gained 1.5 pounds on the boat, came back right out the next day, got right back full-fledged into it, lost another pound, and ever since then. So totally real quickly here, 31 pounds.
Then I got one more story. So we're rationing this, and I get back home after we're out on the boat, and I know I've got to be really, really good. I walk into my office one morning, I have my drink, and I set it on my desk. And as I reach to grab my phone, I tip it over. And this is like gold. I didn't reach for my computer. I didn't reach for the paperwork that was getting all wet. I started licking it off. That's how bad I needed it. Literally started licking it off.
So all you guys that came off of there and just sprayed all over your water, just lick it. So anyway, real quickly to finish the story.
That's how good it is. It is.
I lost my 30 pounds. So look, I went shopping. I went into my own closet and got a suit I hadn't worn in 5 years, and it's fitting kind of nicely now. So hey, I'm saving money. I'm shopping in my own closet.
The first 3 days I was on this, I didn't feel the energy, and I remember the first call that Ron did, he said, "You'll know when you're there." And I kept thinking in my mind, what the heck does that mean? What does that mean? So by the third day, I was at corporate actually that day, and we were going through meeting after meeting, and I just wasn't feeling the energy. I went home, and the fourth morning, I woke up and felt like I was Superwoman. I had this euphoric energy, and since that time on, I just had total energy every single day. Love it. I love the weight loss, but the energy for me is what it's all about.
You'll love the way you feel. You'll love those moderate meals and all this steak and chicken and cheese and all the good stuff. That's what I love. You don't have to starve, guys. I walked up to someone last night and they said, "You're going to starve yourself to death." I said, "Absolutely not. Quite the contrary. I'm always full. I feel good. I'm always in a great mood. I'm just eating like crazy and losing weight." So, I mean, think about it. Eating cookies and drinking shakes and losing weight. We got the best, guys. So get on it. Get yourself 10 or 20 of those, or as many as you can get, and get them out to everybody. We are going to change the world, folks. So thanks for listening.